Hey, 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 top of the world today.
The world, the
The
day,
world.
everything above.
I love today's, I love them all. It's just like being with horses all the time or being self-employed. I love that whole component. They're both very passionate for me, but it is through that connection. And that's why I love her name so much. Equine connection. Like, who the heck would have known our world would be in such desperate need of that connection? But we don't just all know stuff just on our own. We have to definitely collaborate. People like you, people that we have seen through Facebook or Google searches to understand deeper how these horses are actually connecting with us and how we as humans ignore so much of what they're desperately trying to say to us until they literally just shut down. And then when they shut down, we can bring them back again. But if you don't even know that your horse is shut down and you're thinking, oh, he's just such a good horse.
Bomb-proof.
Yeah, no such thing as a bomb-proof horse. I don't care who you are in horse world. There's no such thing, because a prey animal, no matter what, will still always have those same instincts and senses. And again, as long as we're not shutting down that prey animal. But I have a story for you, because we do a lot of travel training with our practical in-person training where the magic comes alive with horses and our programs. And I have a hair on my lip. This is why it's driving me crazy.
Can't even see it.
Anyway, we were in Florida, and it was the first facility we've ever been to where the owners, both of them, husband and wife, they understood communication of horses. And it was very, very exciting, because we're like, oh, because it had felt so lonely out there.
And they were in the dressage world and the fancy world and everything else too, but they got it. Yeah.
They so got it. So we're so excited. We love being there. Then we run a program this one time, because of course, as we're training our facilitators, we have people bring in live clients so they can literally facilitate them so they can see how the horse is teaching. Well, anywho, we're doing this one program and it's all great. Like, the teaching and the learning moments were outstanding, and all humans make a change when they're doing these programs, because the horse has them do it, not us as the humans. I'm sorry, it's really bugging me, this little hair on my lip. Anywho, here we are talking in the barn after all the horses were put away. The one lady who actually boards at this facility took her horse, who she allowed us to work with during the program. And we're looking down the alleyway, and this lady is beating her horse. Like, she is running him ragged for whatever she felt that he did wrong in the arena. Like, it broke our flipping hearts. Like,
it made us super mad all at the same time.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
And for the people who ran the facility, they hurt so much because they know how much this horse needs someone who understands them. But at the same time, you got that fine line of how far do you cross it, where they did try to cross it before. So, it's just a tough situation. And I know I always use that line, you don't know what you don't know until you do know. But holy jumping tuna fish, so many things parallel in life, especially in connection. Is that true connection when we're beating on a living being? I think of not us, right? So, we really have to be self-aware, and we're coming back to self-aware, because this whole year is going to be being self-aware, because we are lost in not being self-aware. And when we're lost in not being self-aware, we don't have connection anymore. And it's through connection that's how we actually can survive on this hard earth that we have, right? Because too many people. This one guy yesterday, and I'm sorry, and then we'll move on, but these are such exciting stories. So yesterday we had our Simon House, which is a recovery center. So they come once a week. This one guy, he was saying, why don't you take a picture, blah, blah, blah. He goes, oh, I'm not allowed my phone. And then he's explaining to one of his team members that he's not allowed to, because where he is in his path, that he can't have that connection, interesting enough, in technology to the outside world. And he said, you know what? It is the most breathtaking thing to sit back and you see all the brothers, they're on their phones and they're disconnected. And here I am just living in a moment of being connected. I'm like, it's
cool.
so beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, it's so true. I see we got lots of people joining already. I saw Brittany on TikTok as well as a couple others, but I missed you guys fast. And then we've got Sarah on, we've got Petra on, Shannon made it. So anybody else who's watching, please let us know who you are, where you're from, so we can give you a quick hello. And I think and Jen's on too. Hello, lovely. So I think we'll go into some of the regular rigmarole, I guess, before we get going.
Even though did I talk?
Oh, cool. Cool. So nobody knows what I'm
No,
reading.
we have no idea.
Yeah. We've got car stars and roll bars from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Woo, woo.
Safety culture strategies, assisting C-suite personnel with enhanced leadership skills. I got to tell you. Horses. If anything brings it up.
Greatest leaders in teaching leadership.
And then we got Beth in Washington joining as well. We got all sorts of folk going on here.
Excellent.
I can't actually see what these are. Sorry, TikTokers.
We have TikTokies on it as well.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, just needs to do a little bit of finagling. Okay, so the first thing that we always go through is that hashtag,
holy jumpin' tuna fish.
Why? Because this is a curiosum that just basically means, oh, wow.
Yeah.
This has knocked your socks off, or something has resonated with you today. So if there's something that comes up that you're really like, oh, wow, I hadn't thought about that before, or it tweaks your brain a little, throw in that hashtag, holy jumpin' tuna fish. And then, of course, we also have the hashtag, we are life changers. Now, that is not just us. That is not just you. That is every single one of us on this planet that have the opportunity. You're such a good interpreter.
I really am.
Yeah. Who have the opportunity to change a life for the better every single day that we live and breathe. And we always say that just really boils down to kindness. Be kind. Have integrity.
It's hard for people, hey? Like,
yeah.
Get that piece,
No.
but it is hard for some people to be kind or to not say things in such a mean way. The
nicer word than I was
the
coming up
meanies.
with. A bitchy way sometimes, my goodness. But yes, just sprinkle a little bit of kindness out there, people, because this world needs a whole lot more of it. So if we can be kind to ourselves, be kind to others, that gets us a long way in this world. And then, of course, share this out, because sharing is, in fact,
caring.
It's caring, everybody. Sharing is caring. So there might be somebody else that you know out there that needs to hear what we have to say today, a little bit more about collaboration, about those connection pieces, and they may need to hear it and be shared to it. Shared to it by you.
I'm not to correct anything that Charles has just said. I call her by her last name many times, but share it to every gall-darn horse person
Yes.
whether it's their own horse and they just want to be with a horse, or if they want to start a business, cool. But it's just about sharing so that what you don't know, you now will know, to help all horses around the world.
What makes me smile right now
is
how many other people were answering that it's caring.
Oh, that's so
We've got a few
cute.
on Facebook, a few on TikTok.
See, why don't you just ask the audience every time?
That's true. It's more fun because you just like it so much. And
Anyway.
Tammy Collins is on too. Danielle
Tammy.
Geddes, Louise Prince. Good to see all of you guys as well.
Danielle Geddes, haven't seen you in a day or two.
But we
That's
know you're
fun.
there.
Oh, we always know you're there.
And you're always with us.
Always in our heart.
So who are we? My name is Carolyn Charles. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing, as well as an instructor and facilitator for the Equine Connection, the Academy of Equine Assisted Learning, Inc.
Oh, now she's got a hair in her eyelash. I got a hair on my lip. Don't know what's happening because it ain't no spring here in Alberta.
Yeah, no, we didn't do anything with the dog or anything.
Nope.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. My name is Carrie Fulmeck, the founder and master instructor for the Equine Connection, master instructor, helping people globally around the world do what we do. It is the greatest freaking job on this in one short little life on this earth. Because why? Get to be with the horses all the time, and the horses help the humans. And we absolutely love it because you're so humbled by the experience when you literally allow the horse to literally teach what they actually know how to do instead of stopping them. Let them teach what they know how to teach, because the humans are so empowered by what it is that they say to them that the humans now transfer that learning from the arena into their own life. And for years to come, they always retain that experiential learning piece. And I think that's purpose all the way around, because we're always wanting what's purpose, because that's a connection. It's a connection for what we need to do on this earth. Because seriously, people, think about it. If you had 80 years to live, how many Christmases do you have left? I love bringing things up like this because that's connection to living in the now. When we understand that fragile thread of how short our lives are, we get our bump skis moving a little bit quicker than if we keep saying, maybe next year. Next year, you could be 80. Don't know what else to say with that one.
As you were saying that, I'm like, I'm over half. I've passed the halfway point to my 80 Christmases.
Well, and my hubby's going to be 76 this year, so he's got 4 left.
He's making every day count now.
He is. The other day, he was working it out on the farm before he had to get an amputation. But he said, Carrie, I really love the way you always think about life that way. And he said, I enjoyed my day so much more because I just lived here because I know the clock is ticking and I have to experience just being because it feels so darn good. I'm like, that's right, sir.
It's very true. Tammy says, I would love to hear a few testimonials that you've experienced. I think we'd have to do a whole separate live and just
many.
Yeah. Although we do have a few. If you go back and look through some of our lives, I think we have story times and stuff like that, just about the different people we've had through and some of their experiences as well. But maybe that is a good one just to kind of connect to that piece too.
Well, I think we should tell her then the one of JR. And, all horses teach all humans, even us horse people, how to become the best leader that we possibly can. And being a leader is not being a boss. Being a leader understands that you do take on that, okay, if I make this decision, I know my team's going to follow me. Why? They trust and respect me. So that's why it's so profound. But being a leader to oneself, and we have to keep amping it up because it keeps us safe. But we know everyone on the team is special and they're unique in what it is that they also bring in, because someone's got to watch for the danger, right? Someone's got to be making sure the marketing is running right. There's always got to be that leader within the leader within the leader, because we're
having the self-leadership within the hierarchy of leadership is still there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we had this girl, her name was Sam, and she had come to, it was me. I don't think you were here yet, were you?
I was only here for one.
Okay.
With her. Yeah.
Anywho, my daughters are close in age and they came home from school one day and they said, Mom, would you be able to do your programs with this girl, Sam? And I said, well, sure. Why not? Of course, I would never say no to a child. I said, what's the scoop? They said, well, she's suicidal and she's pharmaceutical addicted. I'm like, oh, no, sorry. I got to take back the words, because there's no way on God's green earth that I can do that I don't have a degree to go to the psyche. But Mom, nothing has helped her. She's been to therapists. She's been doing all kinds of things and nothing's helping, but you always do it with me and my friends. So can't you just try with Sam? I said, sorry, girls, I just can't do it. Then I thought about it all night long, and I have 50 exercises with objectives and how you run these programs and how you get to the results. So I looked through all 50 of them and I found 10 of them that I thought, hey, I could do one-on-ones, no problem with this, and not get to the old psyche place.
The therapy place.
Yeah, exactly. Because I just want to go to the horse place and the objective place. Anyway, long story short, this gal came 10 times. And at the end of it, she's still to this day, this would be, I think, maybe 13, 14 years ago. She still cannot believe, she will always give credit that JR saved her life. Now, what happened for her through going through all those programs and learning all the skills to be strong, she did turn over she was in recovery. Let's just put it that way. And she was also helping others with addictions in the center that she went to. She came out of the closet. Is that what you say?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
She came out as gay.
Yeah, exactly. And she started doing her music, like rapping, helping all of those who are bullied in the world. So she's had huge epiphanies just because of working with Jared. And that was 10 times. But I mean, we have epiphanies and testimonials after
one course,
after
an hour and 20 minutes, then they have something that has just changed the direction of their life.
Yeah. And it's not,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be good facilitators and you got to allow the horse to actually teach and allow the human to actually figure it out. But wow, when they figure it out, like they're always paralleling it to their own lives and what that means for them. So we don't have to put no falseness. It's always authentic to everything that we are doing. I hope, Tammy, one little one worked.
Yeah, absolutely. And we leaders can also lead from the back. Darn true.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. And then Tammy, you see, therapists are great. Oh, there she goes.
I'm so excited.
But many of my clients have come because traditional therapy didn't work. Some people don't have the answers to their questions, or they don't know what to talk about, or they don't know what's wrong. And sometimes it's a different way that you don't have to. It's just getting the skills that you need to move forward with who and where you are in life, right? So yeah, there's a different ways of approaching it for sure. And then for those people who are therapists who incorporate horses as well, it's also stunning because then you have both sides of that coin too, to help them just in case, like a trigger or a PTSD kind of situation shows up as well.
And it is amazing for all the clients that we've worked with in the past 16 years. Some people don't even know what, let's say, a problem could be, but they start working with the horse, for example, and then all of a sudden they're just bawling their face off. Now, they don't know why. And here's the best part with doing it, because it's so individual as these humans are running through any of these programs, that let your body do what it's needing to do right now. And we don't talk to the people as this is happening, because the horse always stays with the human. Why? They're being authentic in thought and feel. They're not being in confusion. So the horse feels safe. So the horse stays.
Yeah.
So that support system for whatever that person, like sometimes it takes them a few times to finally figure out what it is that they're needing to figure out on their own, but their body is just naturally doing it.
Even, and this kind of goes back with collaboration and connection as well, but even the connection to self, like we've had many people who've come in with severe anxiety and that sort of thing, and they figured out that they actually can be in the moment. And that's huge to them, because they're usually so far gone everywhere else and thinking about and worrying about and all of those good pieces that come with anxiety. But they realize, I can actually be in a moment and not have that piece. It gives them hope to even realize that that's available to them when they thought it wasn't. So there's so many different aspects of how it can kind of all come together, but it still does come back to that connection with self.
It does. And I mean, how many clients have come in? Because we always start on orientation. So people have to understand before they even begin the journey, why do we work with horses? How are horses the teachers so that they're understanding? And then the safety, like number one thing, if you can keep your horse safe, you'll keep your clients safe. To me, that's always the way it goes. It's not keeping humans safe, then the horse will be safe. Nope. Keep your horse safe. Understand their culture and their language, their communication. By cracky, now you keep the humans safe, because you're always partnering with your horse. But as we're explaining that first program before people actually go into the arena with horses, so many humans are overwhelmed with what they have done in their past life. They're not happy with themselves for what they have done. So they do a lot of judgment with themselves before they even get to the horse. And then sometimes they're really stand backish until they actually, and they'll always spew like, I don't deserve to be here. Or no, I could hurt the horse because of everything that I've done.
I don't want them to feel how I feel.
Yeah.
If they can feel what I feel, I don't want them to feel how I feel.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that they don't hold it like
No.
we do. They help release all of those pieces as
Yeah.
well.
It's pretty beautiful.
Tammy also giving credit to the amazing power of breakthrough with all of the fuzzy therapists as well. Shannon says, Paul Swan Casp is an absolute legend. We'll have to look him up for mental health and addictions. That's a cool one. Mike Garcia says, but even with a therapist, it has to come from the individual. The best way I could say it is the horse that always shows us how naturally you can be. That's very true. And it's not very often we get to read some of the comments off of TikTok, but this one actually made me smile a bit, because he said that he had to call Disney and let them know that 2 of their princesses were missing.
What?
It said, usually we get things on TikTok that are a little different. I just got off the phone with Disney. I had to tell them I found their missing princesses.
Okay,
Thank you. Princesses we are. Not
I
sure if I've
love
been called
that.
that one before.
Oh, that's so precious. I love that. That made me happy.
Yeah, that was a nicer one.
So
Anywho.
it is about collaborating. And, even what we're doing right
me.
now, and I love this, and some questions and some help. This is connection and helping each of us to be able to get to the place that we need to be, because, man, connection is so powerful. I mean, it makes us feel so many things when we're connected, but in the most natural of ways, not through a chemical way. It's just so lovely. So one of the biggest, like, we have worked years and years to get to meeting the people who, you have a connection with, if I could say it like that, because there are some trainers that I say, ooh, no, me and you, no think or feel, because I'm looking at the horse. So this is just my way.
Or they tell us that they can help us little ladies out and give us some clout to our business by having a man at the front of our business. That one didn't.
That one's
super
funny.
Well, yeah,
I do recall that one.
Toodles.
What you little ladies need.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there are some amazing now trainers and horse people that you just connect with, because as they're saying their words, this is being self-aware, their body matches their words. And then you see what happens to the horse. To me, is always proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
So you want to do anything, always do it with the horse, because proof is in the pudding. Because when we know how that horse is speaking, we know if that horse is feeling safe or there's a bunch of BS being put around, because a horse is a horse is a horse, can only think, act, and respond like a horse. Yeah. So one of the greatest ones I think it was our big step into our world with huge connection for our clients and for ourselves with the horses is Leah Dyck.
Yeah. Absolutely.
She just turned our beautiful world into a place of, now this makes sense. Like, we knew and we were understanding, but we didn't understand. Does that make sense?
We needed to be married with, well, especially for me, the skeptic of all skeptics.
I love that she's the skeptic. The skeptic and the skeptic.
She's a spectacle of skeptics. But having the science piece that marries it all together as to why these things are happening and helping it all make sense that way. She was really a huge piece, well, especially for me, but I know for you as well, on the journey down into the energies side of things, because then I could correlate it with the why, the how, my 5 W's that I need to get in there to be able to actually understand why these things are working and how we can implement them, and how it's not fluffy. There's nothing fake or fluffy or BSing or blowing sunshine or anything else like that. It's science. It all goes back to science, and those pieces have helped us along our journey a lot.
Oh, I love science.
I'm a big fan of Chris Irwin. We're
getting to him.
We're a big fan of his as well. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Stephen Peters would be another huge one with collaborating with, because again, being that, I guess I'm a skeptic too. Like, if proof isn't in the pudding, by the power of the horse.
Yeah, you can't just tell us something.
If I don't see it through the horse, that's always what I need. But so as you're going deeper and deeper and understanding more about who that horse is, then you get to the actual neurological piece. You're like, oh my gosh, now you have the factual components of how their brain works when you're working with your human clients. Because you see, facts are connection. Because then it makes sense. You're not
reality.
Yeah. You're not saying fluffy stuff. You're not saying, oh, the horse like you. Oh, the horse love you. Oh, the horse think you're a leader. No. Ew.
No.
Like, those are not the things that our humans are needing. So it's so beautiful when you understand their brain and why they can't think, act, or respond like a human, because they never can. And it's so frustrating when you see humans trying to make a horse fit into their world. It's just so wrong. Like, we took the horses out of their world. We must now learn how to be in their world. And that's why I love a lot of the new trainers. Absolutely. It's connection and communication. Like, they're going so far away from what used to be. I remember Warwick Schiller's wife came to take the certification. And I looked at her at one point and I'm like, is this kind of like a little weird for you?
Yeah, little Twitty,
Yeah.
bizarre.
And I didn't know who Warwick Schiller was at the time. Like, I honestly just did not. But we love Warwick
And then we
Schiller
looked him up.
too.
We're like, whoa,
he speaks our language.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
This whole thing.
Exactly. But Robin said, "Oh, not even 1 iota." She goes, "What Warwick has now been doing with horses compared to what was before, I am open to it all now. Now I see those horses in a completely different light." So that was a kind of exciting piece too.
It's a big one too.
That we were known. But to have the brain piece, I have to tell you, if any of you have not heard of Dr. Stephen Peters,
come up.
buy his book at least. It will change your perspective and your way of understanding your horse in such a more balanced, connecting way, because now you're being self-aware by being aware that you weren't aware. And then that means you're present. That's what I love about being self-aware. It actually makes you be present. That's what a horse is. So that's why our horses are telling us so much, but we're, horses walking in front of us. Well, why? Like, are we just yanking them back all the time? Well, first of all, we should never pull on a horse head.
Don't do it around these parts, folks.
No, even yesterday in the arena. Oh, you should tell them that story, because I didn't know that this was happening. So how our programs work is one facilitator can work with 2 horses. So, and it will depend. Sometimes we have 2 humans with a horse, and sometimes we have 3 humans with a horse.
Yes. And so yesterday we had 2 groups of 2 and 2 groups of 3, I think is how we had it rolling. And so we had our 4 horses out in the arena. And normally we don't dabble into the human problems because they're human problems. We don't deal in that, right? We deal in what's happening with the horse. However, these humans were clearly not getting along.
These are guys, 2 guys. She's had women before do this, but never 2 guys.
Yeah, but they clearly, and it's not just that they weren't on the same page, they didn't want to work together, flat out. And if it weren't for our beautiful horse responding, I probably would have left it because they got to figure out their own crap. But no, the horse was responding. So go in and try to facilitate. Okay, how are we going to do this for Sophie? Let's make this work in a little bit of a different way and everything. But Sophie no want to go because there was still conflict going on within the people. They weren't getting on the same page in communication. They got there eventually. But I had said many times, because they would try to get Sophie going by pulling her head. Oh, no, we don't pull the head. Okay, what's a different way we can do this? You guys both know what's the go button. So probably 10 times I had facilitated this already. And I'm standing there at one point and they started getting, Carrie sees it from across the arena. She's like, oh, no, we don't pull. You wait there for me. We don't pull. And I was like, all your, like, clearly, I don't think my words are working. So all yours. So she went over there and did things her way. And I went and sat with the laying down horse for a little bit and let my brain have a rest, which was lovely as well. We all needed some grounding at that point. But sometimes that's the benefit of having another facilitator as well, because then you can just like, dang, you're it. You take it a different way now. Because
absolutely. And I knew nothing was happening like this, except now I have the laying down horse who's teaching our group something. It was very, very powerful and beautiful. The bonus with that one is after he finished the teaching, and we were done actually in the arena, he got up and walked back with his team.
Yeah, they asked him to. And he just got up with them and walked, and they couldn't get him going. And then all of a sudden, after they all took the time to ground and stop and smell the roses kind of thing and have that moment with him, then he moved beautifully with them, which was lovely at the end.
He did.
Yeah.
So then my piece, so I'm coming in because I'm like, now I say, no. And I got a loud voice. Like nobody is pulling my horse. Nope. Nobody pulls the horses. So of course they're going to wait for me. They're scared of me now because I yelled.
Don't move.
Don't move.
I'll do it. I'll be right there. I like go.
Yeah. Carolyn, can you tell them what's happening with the disco? I go over there. So I know nothing what's happening because it doesn't matter that I know nothing. I don't need to know.
Probably better that you didn't.
Of course not, because the horse is telling me everything. This poor horse, our beautiful Sophie, will not move. So that says volumes on where the humans are at. This horse
either
does not feel safe. There is no leader in this team. No horse is going to follow someone who is not a leader. No horse because they will feel unsafe. So of course I'm looking at this guy now. This guy, he's a little frustrated. I can see it in his little horsey eyeballs, or what he used to know in the horsey world, right? Yeah. So finally, it took a long time, but the one guy said, I can't hear what this guy is telling me.
That would have been information to know at the beginning.
Okay, well, this was kind of, huge important stuff. So then, of course, I said, okay, so whether we like each other or we don't in a team, what can we do to help Sophie to feel safe? Would you agree that you need to at least be able to communicate what the plan is going to be and where it is that you're going to? Yeah. So they all agreed with that. Showed them how, never pull the horse, how they can get together as a team to be on the same page in communication just to get to somewhere. And boom, the horse moved. It was success. Yeah. And we said, okay, we're done. As soon as there's that success, you don't want to go no further.
And they weren't besties at the end of it.
No.
That's not what it's all about.
No.
Right? Because it's not. You don't get to choose every teammate you work with for the rest of you. Don't get that in life, right? So you do have to work with people that you don't always like, or that you might have conflicting personalities with, or anything else. But you still have to be able to work with them. And it was only because of the horse that they would have even attempted it.
Yeah.
Because they did not give two craps about how the other one felt at that point. But they did care about how Sophie felt. So that's the only reason we could have facilitated them through.
Exactly. Now let's go to Mr. Chris Irwin.
Mr. Chris.
Oh my goodness gracious me. And it was so cool how we met Chris, because for some reason, Carolyn and Chris Irwin were friends.
Stalked him or something
on Facebook. And then of course, as the world is closed and we're trying to be creative and still gaining knowledge and learning more about our horses, well, we're at home and can, right? And she's telling me about this guy, Chris Irwin. So of course, look him up. I'm like, I really like the way this guy thinks and does his thing. So we got in contact with him. And of course, we did a Zoom. Well, now we're all in love with each other.
Yeah.
So it all works.
We speak the same lingo.
We speak the same lingual.
Lingual.
The lingual.
Not that one. But
and his wife, Sophie, too. All is good. All four of us are very, very, very good. So then we have him come out for our in-person conference for 2 days.
He did our virtual first.
Oh, he did our virtual.
Yeah.
Then he came and we did the big conference. Well, holy jumping tuna fish. That is freaking life-changing to horses. Like, I can express, you always have to collaborate. You have to go to that connecting place so you got better understanding of your horse. And horses understand everything he is doing. Why? It's about becoming self-aware. Yeah. It's about using 3 energies that we as humans use and horses use all the time. You just watch your herd. That's proof in the pudding. You watch how that horse can move that horse by where he is pointing to. You got the right answers.
You know what I love about Chris is he's not there to make you as the human feel good about yourself. He's there for the horse.
Yep.
100%. He does not deal in blowing sunshine at all. And he will tell you flat out, no, that's and he won't be mean. He's not nasty or anything else like that. He's kind, but he's in the best interest of the horse. And for those of us that align with that same best interest, it's a nice place to be, because then it's not like, well, you're close to getting it. You're doing a great job. It's like, no, you're off. You need to step back, reset, do something different. And he's very, very clear. And the one phrase that I loved of his, because you got to take bits and pieces and move forward as you can, right? Because not everything is like, I learned something new. I'm changing my entire world tomorrow and it's all going to work. Because I'll tell you that right now. You got to work at all this stuff bit by bit. But the one thing I love that he said is it's not bad. Now, usually when someone says, oh, that's not bad, you're like, oh, okay. Well, but it's not bad. Yeah. What you're doing isn't bad. It's just that we can make it better. We can do things in a better way. It doesn't mean you're being bad to your horses. It just means you can grow. And that I like, right? Because that goes with what you don't know until you do. And that's all you can do.
It's so true. Well said. Give me a pound, little sister. Yeah. But I tell you, when you saw proof in the pudding, all 7 of our horses, they just like this putties, the putties of happiness, the putties of still heads and heads coming down low, the safety. No one's got halters and lead ropes on. They're just they're so safe and in the zone of their beautiful endorphins. That's when, for us, we're like, okay, now our certification, which we always call a living certification because it continually is changing as we learn and understand more, it goes into our programs and our certification, because that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's
you're stagnant.
Stale. Yeah.
You didn't move. I had to put this one up because not too often I get to throw up amazeballs on the screen and it be true, because that was amazeballs.
It was amazeballs. So of course, and since with Chris, it's hard to become self-aware and being aware of what your body is saying. I didn't know that. I dance. I'm a dancer. So I'm always trying to be aware and dance. And that's when I get messed up, because I'm doing too much thinking versus having that whole awareness aligned with my body. But I tell you, we have exaggerated in how our body needs to be because it feels abnormal. But we use the language all the time. All of us do. All humans do. But are we aware of the words and how it matches our body? Are they doing the same?
The answer is no.
It's usually not. Yeah. And I tell you, even now, and now we brought in the Chris Irwin way since August, I think the 7th.
In how we move our horses.
And our bodies, we still are working at being self-aware. But I do have to tell you, the greatest connection on this earth is when you are connected to yourself to be aware, because you truly are. You are never thinking of supper. You're not thinking of the bill you got to pay. You're not thinking of your family. You're thinking of nobody, but just in that connecting moment. And then you see your horse. And the horse makes the change just because you adjusted your body language. And of course, my favorite thing to Chris Irwin, no pulling on the horse's head. That has changed. Now we have done 2 traveling schools since then as well. Every horse is like, oh,
yeah, it's actually changed how horses interact with people.
Oh,
like there's been some, they're so sensitive. They don't like it. They didn't like the way that they were being asked, right? And if you think about even us as humans in a work situation or something like that, there's the great leaders who have a way of asking that you want to do it, right? You want to move forward, you want to do more. And then there's the bosses who haul on you and make you do something. And that's very, very different things. When we work with our horses, so they're wanting to work with us and asking the nice ways, then they really didn't have an issue with it.
No, like it's so calm now. It's bizarre. Like, and yesterday we had 4 horses and 10 people. And a leader the leader drives them to the facility.
And an argument.
And
still calm.
It's very calm in our arena. Now that self-awareness is the key component, which helps every living being on this earth to become that leader within. That is even a leadership piece, is to be that aware. But you still got to know your position. It's just like Cars Stars. I love that you said a leader can be in the back. That's just like in a herd, like the stallion is in the back, the lead mare is in the front. Yes, like he's a leader, she's a leader.
Yeah.
And there's actually different components of leadership actually within that herd as well. So it's definitely true. It's like for Carolyn and I working together too. She may take the lead many times in the IT area, but sometimes I actually can step into that leadership role too, or vice versa.
You have to be able
with the horses. We're stepping in and out
to have a dance with it, right? You can't have somebody be the lead all the time, and then or 2 people trying to be the lead all the time. It simply won't work, right? But when you can hand off, knowing where the skills and the talents or the other pieces, if she's doing something better than me, and not in a bad way or anything else, but if you've got a handle on it, my goodness, why am I going to be like, oh, let me just learn it away from you and then I'll come teach you.
Yeah.
Why, right? Yeah. Why not have the skills that we have to share rather than to fight against? It's the same with learning from different trainers. The best thing that we have figured out, and actually this goes into part of why we started collaborating, and that, not why, but one of the reasons we do, is that we don't know anything. Now, this is a humbling thing.
But come and join us.
Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, because we know lots. We know nothing. More than the average Joe on horses. But if we break it all down to how much we actually know in the grand scheme of things, we know nothing. just a minuscule little piece. But that's the most freeing thing to say, because then you can keep taking on more. You can learn more. You can absorb more. You can be open to more. Because if you think you know it all,
you could be screwed, blued, and tattooed, my
all
friends.
Of the above.
I remember when we said that to an elder at a trade show. We just met him for the first time.
Right.
Anyway, we were having this big conversation. Deep. We went deep. And then, of course, we said, we just know, we know nothing. He goes, that is the wisest thing I have heard from a human in a long time. We're like, yeah, we got it.
We roll it wise. That's where we live. We're getting there.
By cracky. And then, of course, collaboration, just to end off this live today. It's all of us working together, but you have to be open and willing to be a part of that connection piece, because we all know it. We don't know everything. There's no possible way on God's green earth you're even close to knowing everything.
No.
And from even studies I have learned, do you know we only comprehend 10% of what's in our brain, even though it's all there?
Right.
I don't know. I think I'm on a 0.032 percentage. That 10% don't work for me.
Depends on the day and what half of my brain I'm using.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really being open. And for me, mine is always proof in the pudding. So anything I learn from you, from anybody around the globe, I have to see it to believe it for the horse's sake. And I will try something without literally being there in person to see how that rolls too. But for me, that's a big one in connection. And yours is in a different way with your science. It's got to make scientific sense. Even when I switched it all over. So here's how this rolled with Chris Irwin. I'm like,
I didn't get to see most of it because I was running the conference.
So it's like, we're doing the change. And Carolyn's like,
me no likey, me no ready.
No. And then, of course, I'm trying to teach her some of the stuff. I wasn't even there for the full thing because we had to run in and out. And she's like,
why?
This is kooky. Like, it's not even making sense.
Well, why would that work and not this work? If this is the same. And she's like, this is what I know.
But it helps, because then you have to get smarter, faster.
Yeah.
You do.
To appease my brain.
You got to, and mine is always the visual to show you the difference versus just yipping. Because again, sometimes brain and mouth and body aren't all saying the same
and the
thing.
visual is always important just for placements and all those pieces like that as well. But with my brain, having the why, that means something to them. Again, that's why all this collaboration has meant so much from the beginning. The whys with Leah, the whys and how is the brain working within a horse with Dr. Stephen Peters, even Doug and how he talked about Doug Walsh.
Doug Walsh is another big one.
He's phenomenal. And he's one of the fellows down in Florida that beautiful horseman.
Yes, he knows how they've communicated so long now.
And he opened our eyes to a lot of different cool ways to work with horses, and what he can do with them is magical as well. But
he looks good.
And he
looks really good.
So all of these, not to say you don't, Chris, if you're watching.
Oh yeah, Chris, you look good too. But
you guys,
he had the little man bun, and he had these funky little sunglasses on, and he was on a horse at the time. So he had a combination of a few things together.
Anywho, all the ladies are like, Doug Walsh. But
and Warwick Schiller, always love. You don't know, making the right
thing
easy and the something hard.
The wrong thing hard. The wrong thing hard and the right thing easy.
Yep.
That's what it is. But I mean, even people who like Shelley Whitehouse is great in business side of things. Jane Pike is another one we've talked to. Jane Hemingway Moore in Australia is our instructor out there. A phenomenal woman as far as how we've been able to collaborate over the years to move our business forward. But also we've taught each other things even with the horse side of stuff as well. Like
Guelph University.
Guelph has been huge.
That was huge collaboration, because they've never worked with a certification organization before, because they did not like the way that the horse was not looked after first. Because in our certification, it's the welfare of the horse is the foundation. We do not control our horses. We are not trying to make them do something that it's just not possible. Everything's authentic in who they are. So that that collaboration, that was amazing with Gail Ecker.
Yeah.
Love her. And I loved her question too.
Yes, absolutely. Does horse health equal horse welfare? Does good health equal good welfare with horses? Think about it.
And think.
Let it process.
And she says this to many people, and they usually get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So something.
But we didn't.
We're not gonna, no,
just
but we're
so
not
you
going to
know.
give you the answer.
No,
you guys
heck
tell
no.
us. Does good health equal good welfare?
You got to be empowered for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We can't give you all of those
everybody's
answers.
Scared to answer.
Yeah, they are. Any hoodle.
And I feel like I was just doing a bunch of name dropping there, but I say these names and these people that we've been able to collaborate with because that's how we've gotten to where we are. It has not been the Carrie and Carolyn show, and that's where it has to be, and nobody else can ever be a part of anything because we wouldn't have gotten as far, especially with the horses, as we have. So
100%.
It's what brings us all to the next level.
And, and I think with that collaboration, like with, again, all people, even our team of facilitators, I think that is the biggest, I always call it a kuda in the feather cap, but it's huge because we've all stayed together and we're grow together. So you don't just get certified and good luck to you. I hope you make it out there. Like we stuck together since day one. Mm-hmm. So it's really exciting to be a part of the process of what we're all learning and gathering.
We forgot one too. Petra just said, I love Liberty work. Nikki Flundra.
Nikki Flundra,
she was huge in that whole Liberty side of things and moving us towards working a different way with horses and connecting with them differently
love
too.
Nikki.
Yeah, if you don't know Nikki Flundra, you should look her
You
up.
all want to know Nikki Flundra. Beautiful. She'll make you cry when you see what she has a gift of with horses. Yeah. It's the most beautiful thing.
Or if you're not a crier, your jaw will drop.
Okay,
one way or another, there will be a profound effect from Nikki because she's stunning.
Yes,
stunning with horses.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
But I was going somewhere profound with that whole listing all those people before, but it's gone. See, 0.03% into the brain. That's where we're running on.
Wow, it's sad.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's really sad.
Oh, profound.
Connection. Connect.
Yeah, connect brain to mouth. Please. No, it's gone.
And, I really love too that, when people message us and they're looking for specific things, we love being able to refer other people on too. It's like, oh, they're not interested in us, then screw it. Like, we don't care, as long as all of us globally around the world are working for the welfare of the horse, how can you go wrong with helping each other? Like, to me, it's not about being the best in that. It's about connection. And we all love our horse. We all love our horses. What can we do better for them? Because when we do better for them, they are safer, which means we are safer, which means we can do way more with our horses because they literally trust us. Do they test you every second that they can? Mm-hmm. You bet and I always say this in the arena, they're going to keep testing you because they always want to make sure, are you on guard for me that you're going to save me from that cougar eating me? Absolutely. Are you always on guard for me? And they're going to test it to make sure that you are.
Tammy says, LOL, I love the look on your face while trying to find that thought.
You should have taken a picture.
Well, yeah, I'll have to go back and watch the replay later.
Yeah,
just
I love that.
My thinking face is because I was thinking real hard on that one.
Too.
But oh my goodness, we yapped about this for almost an hour already.
Holy jump. That's a holy jumping tuna fish. Didn't you guys get a whole bunch of holy jump inside of it?
Come on, people.
I feel very passionate today in my connection with you. Like, I just I'm wanting to come into the screen. I can't get, and you're like,
I'm chilling out back here today, trying to collect my other part of my brain.
Well, we have a program today, so we got to go set up our arena, get our pony pones fed using self-awareness and body language. Thank you, Mr. Chris Irwin. It's all very cool.
It is. So we will be back on next week, same bat time, same bat channel. With probably something. Oh no, what is next week? It's not.
No, not Leah yet. We are going to be having Leah.
Yeah. So
but maybe we should just do some testimonials next week. And then you guys can quiz us on the situation or I don't know. Yeah, it's just
tell us what you guys want to hear about too. I asked this many times and no one ever tells us.
I know we would love to know.
Tammy did say about the testimonials. So that was a good one. But
yeah, we keep them, man. We'll end up with this one. This little guy, he was like 9 years old. Okay. Do you understand? 9 is small, and the brain, it's just little yet, right? And he wrote in his little journal this one time, he goes, oh my gosh, I had so much fun today. It's been years. Do you hear that? It's been years since I've had fun. Now, that
9.
broke our heart because you're only 9.
Yes. How could it have been years since you had fun when you were
Yeah.
9?
So, holy man.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even when we get that from the adults too, I had fun today. I haven't had fun in a long time.
I know.
It's a good thing. Fun is fun.
Fun
is good.
Yes, we all
It's a
need
good way to
fun
learn.
because it's a hard life.
Darn.
No matter how great life is freaking hard, and it's always throwing you something.
Yeah.
And
It's
it might not
exhausting.
be what you want,
No.
right?
You can't always get
What you want.
You get what you need. All right. Well,
Okay.
Thank you. And with that, we will close her down for today.
Oh,
No, we won't.
Petra, on our website, so www.equineconnection.ca. Then if you go down to the drop-down menu, it will say collaboration. So
Yes.
go to that link, and it has many of these people that we have talked about in that website.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And the links to theirs. So that's helpful.
Yeah.
All righty.
Okay,
Have a
adios,
great
my
week.
friends.
Have a great week, everybody.
Connect to the bone and bones.
Collaborate and connect.
See.